All right, let's talk about a challenge that pretty much everyone runs into, whether you're a scientist or you're just trying to make sense of your business. How do you find a clear, simple story when it's buried inside a messy pile of data? Well, today we're going to explore one of the most powerful tools for doing exactly that, the linear model. Let's dive in.
You know the feeling, right? You've got all this information, all these numbers, and when you look at them, it just seems like a random mess of dots. Is there a connection hiding in there? Is there a trend? Or is it really all just noise? That's the big question we're here to answer today.
So, the very first tool we're going to grab from our toolbox is the scatter plot. It sounds fancy, but it's super simple and incredibly powerful. All we do is take two sets of data, say temperature and ice cream sales, and just plot them as points on a graph. This picture, this visual, is always going to be our essential first step.
And you know, what's really interesting is that sometimes that scatter plot tells you there isn't a story to tell. So for example, if we plot a student's age against their final exam score, the points could just be all over the place. And that's not a failure. Finding that there's no trend is a really valuable discovery all on its own. It tells us that age just isn't a good predictor here.
But then you get data that looks like this. Check it out. Along the bottom, we've got temperature, and on the side, we have how many times a cricket chirps per second. Now, it's not a perfect straight line, is it? But you can definitely see a pattern emerging. As the temperature goes up, the crickets start chirping faster. This is exactly the kind of thing we're looking for.
Okay, so we've spotted a pattern with the crickets. What now? Well, our first instinct, our first attempt to describe it is usually the simplest one you can possibly imagine.
We literally just draw a line through it. We call this the eyeball method. You're just trying to sketch a single straight line that looks like it cuts right through the middle of the data, sort of finding the average path through all those points. It's not super scientific, but hey, it's a great first guess.
And believe it or not, from that one simple hand-drawn line, we can actually create a mathematical model. By looking at where our line starts and how steep it is, we can write an equation, something like this. The temperature is equal to 1.2 times the number of chirps plus 30. And just like that, we have a formula based on our quick sketch.
But let's be real. Eyeballing it is just a guess, isn't it? Your best fit line might look a little different from my best fit line. So to do this right, we need to upgrade. We need to move away from our gut feeling to a method that gives us the one single best answer.
And that method is called linear regression. This is where the computers take over. It's a really powerful statistical technique that doesn't guess. It mathematically calculates the one and only line that is as close as it can possibly be to all of the data points at once. It is the undisputed champion of lines of best fit.
So how did our quick guess stack up against the computer? Well, let's put them side by side. On the left is our eyeballed equation, and on the right, the precise model from the linear regression. You know what? They're actually pretty close. But the one on the right is mathematically guaranteed to be the best possible fit. That little bit of precision is what makes a model truly powerful.
And this really gets to the most important point. When you use linear regression, there is no debate. There's no, well, I kind of think it looks like this. Nope. Unlike our sketches, there is only one best fit line, period. Okay, so we've got our best line. But how good is best, you know? Is this an A+ model that fits the data like a glove? Or is it more of a C- model that's technically the best, but still not all that useful? We need a way to grade our work.
And for that, we use something called the correlation coefficient, and we just call it R. I want you to think of R as a literal report card for your line. It's just a single number, somewhere between -1 and +1, that tells you exactly how well your line fits your data. So if you get an R value that's super close to +1, like 0.95, that's an A+. It means you've got a strong, positive relationship. As one thing goes up, the other thing goes up, and all your data points are clustered really tightly around that line. Beautiful. Now what if you get a value close to -1, like -0.89? Guess what? That's also an A. It just means you have a strong negative relationship. So as one thing goes up, the other thing goes down. But again, the points are still packed tightly around the line. But if your R value is close to 0, whether it's positive or negative, well, that's kind of a failing grade. It's telling you there's a really weak linear relationship, or maybe none at all. The line might be the best fit mathematically, but it's not a good or useful model for data that's this scattered. So, the moment of truth. Let's go back to our crickets. What grade did our model get? It got a fantastic R value of 0.9509. This confirms what we saw with our eyes. There is a very strong, very positive linear relationship between the temperature and how much those crickets are chirping. This is a model we can trust.
All right, now for the really cool part, using our A+ model to actually predict things. But this is also the part where we have to be the most careful.
See, there are two kinds of prediction. The first is called interpolation. That's when you predict a value that's inside the range of the data you already collected. This is usually pretty safe. But the other kind is called extrapolation. That's when you try to predict something far outside your data range. And this is where things can get very risky.
Let me show you what I mean. Remember, all of our cricket data was collected when it was between 52 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So what if we ask our model, hey, how many chirps will there be when it's only 40 degrees? Well, the math will give us an answer, about 8 chirps, but we've just stepped way outside our known data. We're in uncharted territory.
And here's why that is so dangerous. In the real world, when it gets too cold, crickets just stop chirping. Our nice, neat, straight-line model has no idea that's going to happen. This is the classic case of what we call model breakdown. It's the point where our math equation stops reflecting reality, and extrapolation can lead you straight into it.
But please, don't let that risk scare you away from this whole idea. Because this exact process, plotting the data, finding the best fit line, grading it, and then predicting with caution, this is used to model incredibly important trends all over the world, from figuring out long-term gasoline consumption to predicting population growth.
So, there you have it. We've gone all the way from a messy cloud of dots to a precise predictive model. We've learned how to build it, we've learned how to grade it, and most importantly, we've learned its limits. So the question I'll leave you with is, this works for crickets and gas prices. What real-world trend could you model right now?